of Cloris Leachman. I can't think of the name of any other shows that she was in, but she was in a lot of stuff actually. So, to most of you, most people who will hear this podcast will know who Cloris Leachman was, and that she is no longer alive, unfortunately. But she was in her 80s. She might have been 90, but see, I don't remember exactly how old she was, but she was pretty old. Put it that way. She was no spring chicken. So it's not quite as sad as Dustin Diamond, since he was only 44, but still sad when anybody dies who's a fairly good, decent human being that people love. You know, when Hitler died, I'm betting no one cared. I bet his family was like, "Ooh, good riddance. What a jackass he was. What a complete idiot. Asshole. Should have died a lot sooner than that, buddy." You think the Hitler's family was saying that when he died? I would think so. I mean, I can't imagine anybody loved him. Even his girlfriend or wife. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you realize that you are dating or married to an evil dictator who is a murderer of millions of people, don't you kind of fall out of love? Isn't that when you start to say to yourself, what the hell am I doing here? What am I doing with Hitler? I'm with Hitler. Adolf motherfucking Hitler. Man, I gotta go. I'm gonna pack. But maybe you're afraid to pack up your bags and say, Hitler, it's over. Dude, I tried to make it work, buddy, but that last batch of Jews you killed, that's just too much. I can't take it. I can't take all this murder anymore, Hitler. Yeah. I don't know. A lot of people think that, your family's fuck that, man. If you're a terrible guy, to me, you're a terrible guy. Yeah, I never liked my father because he was a terrible guy. I don't care if he was a blood relative. He was a terrible guy, so I didn't appreciate him. I didn't like him at all. I was 17 when he died, but I was a very young child when he was alive, and I wanted to smack him upside his head and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you, Junior? What is wrong with you? You're a terrible father. You're horrible." So I can't imagine Hitler being my father. I'd be like, "Oh no, my father is an evil, terrible piece of trash." Damn, man, come on. Hitler? I would change my last name. There's no way in hell I would grow up with that name, Hitler. I would change my name to Johnson. Adolf Johnson. Or change it to Miller or something. Just try to make it sound like just an inconspicuous name of a white person. Cut that little mustache off, that little Hitler mustache. Cut that off, man. That makes you very distinguishable. People, you and Charlie Chaplin, Hitler, were the only people who wore a mustache like that. That mustache looked silly anyway. Maybe that's why Hitler was so upset and wanted to kill people, because he kept looking at that little stupid looking mustache in the mirror. He kept looking at that mustache thinking, damn, this looks stupid. But then he probably shaved it off and looked dumber without it. So he decided to let it grow back or something. I'm guessing, because I don't understand why anybody would have a little mustache like that. What would Charlie Chaplin was a comedian, at least. He probably thought it looked funny. And he was right. It did look funny. But then Hitler had that mustache too. That's the only two people ever seen with that mustache, is Hitler and Charlie Chaplin. I think Charlie Chaplin's actually older than Hitler. So he kind of looked funny with his little mustache, but Hitler looked like a dumbass. Okay. Last break we're going to go to. When we come back, we're going to talk about hashtag Me Too. Not me, someone else. You'll find out right after this.
And now, without further ado, the man we've all been waiting for, T-Jam D. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. I never did get to the sports because I got sidetracked when I'm talking about this Super Bowl week, which it is. So this week is a little different than usual. Usually they have a lot of festivities, and I listen to the radio a lot while I'm at work. Usually talk shows, not music. And they have a lot of stuff. Sports talk shows have a lot of interviews with a lot of superstar athletes, especially ex-superstar athletes no longer playing. They're usually hawking different products, endorsements, deals that they have. They're hawking products, at the Super Bowl, leading up to the big game on Sunday. This year, because of virus, they're not having a lot of the same activities at the Super Bowl. Not nearly as many people went to Tampa. The Super Bowl this year is being held in Tampa, Florida. The Buccaneers' hometown, and in their home stadium, and this is the first time that they've had the Super Bowl participant be playing this game in their home stadium. They pick these games and the location of them years in advance because they're trying to give everybody, because Super Bowls usually generate a lot of revenue for that town. So they try to move the Super Bowl around to different places. To give those towns a chance, and those teams and their stadium a chance to make some cash. So they, and a lot of times they usually just have the Super Bowl in warm climates. So it won't. They did have a ice storm one time, and they had it in Texas, in Dallas. That's unusual because it's still Dallas, it's still the South. Usually it's warm. It's warm in the South, but closer to the equator you get. That's another thing I needed to bring up when these morons talked about the world being flat. Why is it warmer when you get toward the equator? You start going south and it gets warmer. But anyway, that's another conversation for another time. I will get to the idiots, conspiracy theorists. But we have the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes as quarterback. The young, blooming superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And the cagey veteran Tom Brady, quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on the other side in the Super Bowl. I kind of think that the Chiefs are going to win. I'll be surprised if that doesn't happen, unless someone gets injured. If someone gets injured for the Chiefs, like if Mahomes gets hurt and has to leave the game, then I can see the Bucs winning. But other than that, if most of the best players stay healthy, I think the Chiefs will win. I could be wrong, but that's what I think will happen. I think they've got the firepower that's needed to win a ball game of that magnitude, because they're hard to stop. So that's my prediction. I don't know what the point spread is because I'm not a gambler. I'm not not that there's anything wrong with it, as long as you don't get addicted. I used to work with a guy who was a big gambler. He wasn't much of a sports bettor, but the guy was absolutely obsessed with gambling. He used to go to the casinos and then in his spare time, and he also bought a lot of lottery tickets and scratch offs and stuff. And he would always brag about when he won money. And I told him one time, you shouldn't do that, dude. And he said, why not? And I said, because you're not telling these people all the money you've lost. You're just making the gambling sound exciting. Like, look at this $1,000 I won on a scratch-off ticket. Ain't that amazing? Yeah, but you bought $2,000 worth of scratch-off tickets to win that $1,000, dude. You didn't tell them that. So you really lost $1,000. But yeah, this guy would gamble and only mention his winnings, never mentioning the fact that he lost more money than he won. Trying to get other people to gamble. You're not lucky. There's no such thing as luck. It's chance. The more you play, the more chances you have to win. But the house always gets you in the end. That's what math is all about. All right, I meant to get to this story. It was in the news here recently, and that's when I said hashtag me too. Marilyn Manson is being hashtagged me too. I don't exactly know how though, because Evan Rachel Wood, who is the young lady that was on that show on HBO called Westworld, which I watched, and I seen Evan Rachel Wood, and she is a gorgeous young lady, incredibly attractive young lady. She is the former fiance, I guess, to Marilyn Manson, and she said that Marilyn Manson is into a lot of what do you call it? That bondage and tying people up and dripping candle wax and burning, and they do it's a little bit of pain and torture type sex stuff. I forget what it's called, but Evan Rachel Wood, it said Marilyn Manson done all kind of stuff to her when they were together. And that's not funny, but I'm just wondering, why didn't you say something before, and why did you go along with it? You was his girlfriend. You were a grown woman. Should have told him, no, man. No, that's not how I get down, my boy. I ain't doing that. I don't care if you're Marilyn Manson. I'm Evan Rachel Wood. She was a young girl. She was like 18 or 19, so I guess he influenced her and got her to do stuff that she wouldn't normally do, but still, that's not illegal. He might be a jerk for doing it, but that's not really illegal. So, but there's been some other girls come out and say that Marilyn Manson, done this stuff to them too. But the chick Rose McGowan, who said Harvey Weinstein, done stuff to her and threatened her, ruin her career if she didn't give him sex. She never said anything about Marilyn Manson. She never said Marilyn Manson done any of this stuff with her, and she was with him for years. Rose McGowan. So I'm not saying that Evan Rachel Wood is a liar. I'm just saying that it's weird to wait this long, and then when you do finally come out with your story, the guy really didn't do anything illegal. He didn't rape you. He didn't hurt you. Didn't hit you. Or she never, from what's been reported, I don't think she ever said that Marilyn Manson beat her up or anything. He just done a lot of weird stuff to her sexually.